With HHN tickets finally announced, well, some of them, and many more announcements on the horizon, we have been getting tons of questions about HHN in general. However, probably our number one question that we have received is about Express Pass. So we decided to put together this video to talk about everything Express Pass as it relates to HHN and this year's event.
Welcome back to the channel that takes you through the fog with yet another Halloween Horror Nights video, this one all about Express Pass. But before we get started here, we want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has supported us here on the channel, especially to our subscribers. A big thank you to guys, because recently we just hit 750 subscribers to this channel, which is a big milestone for us, and we are continuously growing to get to 1,000 subscribers, which is one of our ultimate goals for this channel here. So to our subscribers, a big thank you guys. We love all of you guys, and especially for all the comments we've been receiving that relates to anything Halloween Horror Nights or all the other videos that we do rarely, like Universal and Disney, which we'll get to after Horror Nights is done. But a big thank you to you guys. We could not be here without all of you. But if you guys have not joined the community yet, all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel and give this video a big like, because it does help our channel grow to create much more content for all of you guys. So let's move forward and break down all there is to know about Express Pass.
Let's start off with exactly what is Express Pass. So Express Pass for HHN specifically is exactly like Express Pass during the day, except it's for the haunted houses at HHN. It does allow you to skip the standby lines and wait in a much shorter line. Now, Universal does advertise that it is about half the posted standby line. We tend to see it a little bit shorter than that. However, on those like really busy nights, it can get up to about half the standby line.
But it definitely beats waiting in those standby lines, which could get up to a couple of hours long. Now remember, the event only runs for a few hours in the night, usually like 6 to 8 hours max, so you don't want to be spending like an hour or two in some of those standby lines for the event, and that can take up most of your event time. Now moving on to how does Express Pass work for HHN?
Yeah, so you can use your Express Pass for all of the houses at HHN. However, you can only use it for each house once. So for example, if you wanted to go into Universal Classic Monsters,
which by the way is the greatest house that's ever existed in our opinion,
you could use your Express Pass to do that and skip the standby line. However, once you scan your Express Pass for that house, then you cannot use your Express Pass again for that same house that night. However, you can wait in the standby line, but like we said, the lines can get pretty long.
Also, staying at a Universal Premier Hotel does not give you Express Pass for HHN. Some people do get that confused, but it's only for the regular park hours that you can get Express using a Universal Premier Hotel. I'm one of those people that thought like, hey, like, don't you get Express by staying at the hotels? And thought about booking one and realized you actually don't get one for HHN.
Heading into our next section, we're going to talk about the cost of Express Pass for HHN.
Now, according to the official website, the Express Passes for Halloween Horror Nights starts off around $69.99 per person plus tax. However, this does depend on the dates that you are choosing to visit the event, as well, and most importantly, depends on how many other people are purchasing Express for that day as well. Express Pass does go up in price.
We really cannot stress this enough. If you take one thing away from this entire video, please let it be this. If you are deciding to purchase Express Pass, do it as soon as possible. You really don't want to wait until the last minute to buy your Express Passes.
Yeah, so Steph and I, we actually purchased ours when they first became available, which is on June 17th when they released Express Pass tickets, and it was $79.99 per person, which wasn't too bad for us. However, as of the recording to this video, it's been about 2 weeks since June 17th, almost 2 weeks, not entirely, it's within 2 weeks, but the prices have already gone up to $99.99 per person. That's a $20 increase for that Express Pass ticket on that select date of opening night. So Steph and I actually saved $40 total while getting them as soon as possible, which we can actually use that money for things like merchandise, food, drinks, hotel, etc., whatever you want to use it for.
We do kind of wish we took a screenshot back when tickets were released to kind of show you guys what the prices were then. But as you can see now from the website, they are pretty pricey and they are more expensive in the month of October. The reason for this, of course, is that is peak time for HHN. The crowds are going to be a little bit heavier then, so Express Pass just becomes a little bit more expensive. There have been days in the past where you don't necessarily need an Express Pass to get through all the houses. However, we are anticipating that this year's event will be a little bit busier than normal just because we didn't have an event last year.
So far we see that $149.99 is the highest price that they have listed for Express Pass. Although this could be a very expensive add-on, it is worth it, but it's also an indicator of what those nights are to be for crowd levels. So if you do plan on going on those more like busier peak nights to the event and you are not getting Express Pass, then good luck to you. But hopefully you guys do have multiple nights of Horror Nights ongoing. So if you don't have Express Pass, don't sweat it. As long as you're going multiple nights, try to plan breaking up your day into multiple segments to be able to do everything you can possible. But if you got Express Pass, you're all right. You'll be able to do everything at least in one day.
So currently Universal only has released the single night Express Pass for HHN, but in the past they have also had a few other options as well. They just haven't been released yet. If they do have these same Express Pass options as they have in years past, they would be the Frequent Fear Pass as well as the Rush of Fear Pass add-on. So basically you just get Express Pass added on to your normal park admission. Now in 2019, these options ranged from $400 to $700 per person, which just kind of sound like a lot, but it does also include your admission for all of the available nights. So if you are somebody who is planning to visit a lot and wants to have Express Pass for all of the nights that you go, we definitely recommend going this route once they do become available.
Now moving on to the next section, which is going to cover some of our recommended tips to help you get the most out of your Express Pass.
So tip number one is going to be to get there early. And I know this sounds like just a general tip, but it can be helpful if you have Express Pass, especially because if you get there early, some of the lines will still be short for the first few minutes of the event. However, they do get long pretty fast. So if you get there early, you can jump in a standby line, get through, and then be able to use your Express Pass for that house again later in the night when that line gets long, and then you can do that house twice.
Now moving on to tip number 2 from us, and that is when you get to the event, take the path towards the tents and parade buildings. Don't go to the sound stages. Reason being is when the event opens up, those houses in the back of the park, typically when they open up, it's like 20 minutes, sometimes a walk on. So you can probably knock out about 3 or 4 houses within the first hour of the event without using your Express Pass. So you get the save a usage to using the Express Pass for those houses later in the evening if you want to go back through them again.
So moving on to tip number 3, which is going to be more so about purchasing your Express Pass. So if you are visiting for multiple nights and you're trying to decide which night to purchase your Express Pass for, try to buy it for the weekend, whether that be a Friday or a Saturday night. So if you're visiting maybe like Wednesday through Saturday, pick Saturday for your Express Pass because those are going to be the busier nights, and then Wednesdays, Sundays, and the random Monday and Tuesday will not be as busy, and you can just wait in the standby line.
And finally, one of our last tips to give, which actually goes against tip number 2, is tip number 4, which is if one of the soundstage houses is a house that you want to go through multiple times in the night, then you're going to want to get to the parks early and go straight to that soundstage house. Sometimes when the park opens up, the soundstage house may have a 20 to 30 minute wait. Sometimes we've seen it at a 65-minute wait. It all depends, but it doesn't hurt to swing on by, check it, and if it's a 20 or 30-minute wait, hop in the line because it's definitely worth getting through a house, especially soundstage house, for 20, 30 minutes instead of going to the tents, because then later in the day, that house will get up to about an hour to 2 hour wait on average, and you can use your Express to cut that down to pretty much like 30 minutes or so for a wait time, so you can get the shortest amount of wait time possible using your Express Pass to go twice. And then a little pro tip, if you want to go 3 times or so, just hop in line again, but go right before the park closes, because once you're in line before the park closes, you're going to be able to get to go through the house again.
And finally, is Express Pass worth it? Short answer, yes.
Yeah, now of course this does depend on when you plan to visit Horror Nights and how many nights. Is it going to be a single night or multiple nights? And yes, Express Pass can be costly. However, if you can budget for this price, which we tell people to start saving now if you can, it is definitely worth it and will be your best friend because it's gonna help you get the most out of your visits to the event.
We love having Express Pass as it does allow us to enjoy the event without having to worry about if we have enough time to get through everything we want to do. So ultimately, yes, Express Pass is definitely worth it. Now that covers everything that you need to know about Express Pass for HHN, at least so far, while we do wait for more of those ticketing options to become available. But we would love to hear from you guys what your favorite tips for using Express Pass at HHN are, and if you plan to buy Express for this year's event.
Again, we do want to thank all of you guys again for the continued support we've been receiving, and especially to our subscribers. We do have something planned in the new future for all of you, and especially for our subscribers. We have something coming up that we're excited to announce in the new future. Not right now, but coming up soon. Now that's going to do it for us today. We hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we cannot wait to catch you guys in the fog. Peace out, guys.